Hello guys, welcome to today's class, how to convert from bits to byte, kilobyte and megabyte. Okay, so what is a bit and a byte? A bit is the smallest piece of data in a computer. It's also the smallest unit of measurement in a computer or used in measuring data. It's like a single light bulb. It can be on or off, or it can also be either 0 or 1. What is a byte? A byte is a group of 8 bits. So 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So below is the different units and their equivalent sizes. 8 bit is equal to 1 byte. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte is equal to 1024 megabytes. 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabytes, and so on and so forth. How to convert bit to byte? Now, to convert bit to byte, you divide the number of bits you want to convert by 8. Since 8 bits makes up a byte, you convert the number, or you divide the number of bits by 8. The number of bits you want to convert, you divide it by 8. So this is the simple formula: number of bits divided by 8. So here is a simple example. Example 1 says convert 32 bits to byte. So in order for us to do that, we have to divide 32 bits divided by 8, which is equal to 4 bytes. So 32 bits is equal to 4 bytes. Then example 2 here says convert 1000 bits to byte. What you are going to do here is just to divide it by 8. 1000 divided by 8 will give us 125 bytes. So 1000 bits is equal to 125 bytes. So always remember, when you are converting bit to byte, you are always dividing by 8. You divide the number of bits that you want to convert by 8. How to convert from byte to bit? Now, to convert byte to bit, it's just the opposite of what you are doing, but this time you are multiplying. So you are multiplying the number of bytes you want to convert to bit by 8. So here is an example: convert 10 bytes to bit. What you are going to do is just to multiply 10 times 8. Since 8 bits makes up 1 byte, so you are multiplying by 8. So bits is equal to number of bytes multiplied by 8. So since our question here says convert 10 bytes to bits, it becomes 10 bytes multiplied by 8, which is equal to 80 bits. So 10 bytes is equal to 80 bits. Then example 2 here say convert 1000 bytes to bit. Convert 1000 bytes to bit. Although the question is not complete here, convert 1000 bytes to bit. What you are doing here is 1000 multiplied by 8, which is equal to 8000 bits. So 1000 bytes is equal to 8000 bits. So when you are converting from byte to bit, you are multiplying the number of bytes you want to convert times 8. You are multiplying it times 8 to give you the number of bits that is required. How to convert from bits to kilobyte? Now, to convert from bits to kilobyte is almost the same thing as the previous process. You are just dividing. When you are converting from the smaller when you are converting from the smaller units, you divide. So now, first, let's know these simple basics. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. Now, in order for us to convert to kilobyte, we have to first of all divide the bits by 8 to get to byte. We need to convert it first from bits to byte. We need to convert it to byte. Then from bytes, we convert it to kilobyte. So in order for us to convert it to byte, we have to divide the number of bits divided by 8 to get the number of bytes. Then from the number of bytes, we divide it by 1024 to get our kilobyte. Now here is a simple example. They say convert 8192 bits to kilobyte. Convert 8192 bits to kilobyte. Now in order for us to convert this, we need to convert this 8192 bits to bytes first. In order for us to do that, we have to divide it by 8. 8192 divided by 8 will give us 1024 bytes. Now we have successfully converted to bytes. Now we want to convert it from bytes to kilobytes. So in order for us to convert from bytes to kilobyte, we say 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. So you convert it by dividing 1024 divided by 1024, which will give us 1 kilobyte. So 8192 bits is equal to 1 kilobyte. It is just the same process. You just have to divide the bits, the number of bits you want to convert. You have to divide it by 8 and divide it by 1024. I don't know if this is clear. You divide it by 8 bits and you divide it by 1024 bytes to get the number of kilobytes. Lazy man shortcut to convert bits to kilobyte. This is one of the most simplest way to convert a bit to kilobyte. Another method, and I call this one the lazy man shortcut. Now, what you just need to remember is 1 kilobyte is always 8192 bits. 1 kilobyte is equal to 8192 bits. So what you are going to do is to be dividing whatever number of bits you want to convert to kilobyte by this particular number, 8192 bits. Now, how do we get 8192 bits? We say 8 bits makes up 1 byte, then 1024 bytes makes up 1 kilobyte. So what we did here is 8 bits multiplied by 1024 bytes, which gives us 8192 bits. So 8192 is equal to 8192 bits is equal to 1 kilobyte. So that is how we got the 8192 bits. So now this is an example here. Convert 24,576 bits to kilobyte. What you just need to do is to divide the number of bits by 8192. So this is what we did here. 24,576 bits divided by 8192 will give you 3 kilobytes. So this is one of the easiest way to convert bits to kilobyte. What you just need to know that 1 kilobyte is always equal to 8192 bits. What you just need to do is divide the number of bits with 8192. It will always give you the number of kilobytes you need. If you want to convert to kilobyte, just know this figure, 8192 divided, but you divide it with whatever number of bits they said you should convert to kilobyte. To convert kilobyte to bits, now we have converted bits to kilobyte. Now we want to convert from kilobyte to bits. When you are converting from the bigger unit, you multiply, but when you are converting from the smaller unit, you divide. So converting from kilobyte to bits, you multiply. So let's say we know our normal unit, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. So what you are going to do is just to multiply the kilobytes that we want to convert with these two numbers, 8 bits and 1024 bytes. So let's say they gave us an example here. They say convert 10 kilobytes to bit. What you just need to do is 10 multiplied by 1024 bytes multiplied by 8 bits. That will give us 81,920 bits. So 10 kilobytes is equivalent or equal to 81,920 bits. So whenever you have been given a question to convert kilobytes to bits, just know that you are multiplying the number of kilobytes you have been given to. For example, they say convert 3 kilobytes to bit. What you just need to do is 3 multiply by 1024 bytes multiply by 8 bits. Once you multiply them, it will give you the number of bits when you convert from kilobyte to bit. So you always remember that you are multiplying. Or like I said, my layman or the lazy man shortcut, what you just need to do is just multiply. If you multiply 8 bits times 1024 bytes, normally it will give you 8,192. That is what is going to give you 8,192. So what you just need to do is multiply 3 times 8,192. It will still give you the same outcome. So whatever number you have been given to convert from kilobyte to bit, it's either you multiply it by 8,192, or you use the long method. You multiply it by 1024 times 8. It will still arrive at the same answer. So you can pause the video at this point and try it out. If you are finding it difficult to understand it, you can still drop your comments on the comment section. How to convert from bits to megabytes. Now we know our various conversion units. It's still the same process. When you're converting from the smaller units to the bigger units, you divide. Then when you are converting from the bigger units to the smaller units, you multiply. So like I said earlier, 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. 1024 bytes is equal to 1 kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes is equal to 1 megabyte. So I have two methods. The first method here is the normal method, the long process. Now, if you want to convert bits to megabytes, what you just have to do is to divide through with all these numbers here. So let's say this is an example. Example 1, convert 16,777,260 bits to megabytes. What you just have to do is divide it by 1024 kilobytes. It will give you a particular answer. You divide that answer again by 1024 bytes. It will give you another answer again. That answer you divide it by 8 bits. Then it will give you the final answer, which is 2 megabytes. So at first we are converting it from megabyte to kilobyte, from kilobyte to byte, from bytes to bit, and that is the entire process that is happening here. So 16,777,216 divided by 1024 kilobytes will give you a number. That number you divide it again by 1024 bytes, it will give you another number. That number again you divide it by 8 bits, it will now give you the final answer, which is 2 megabytes. So 16,777,216 bits is equal to 2 megabytes. Still on converting bits to megabytes, this is the second method. Now the second method, what you are dividing, you just have to divide the number of bits you want to convert to megabytes. You divide it by 8,388,608 bits. You just have to remember this number, 8,388,608 bits. Now, how do we get this number? We multiply 8 bits multiplied by 1024 bytes multiplied by 1024 kilobytes. That is what gave us 8,388,608 bits. So 1 megabyte is equal to 8,388,608 bits. So whatever conversion you want to do, you just have to divide it with 8,388,608. So now this is our previous example here. Convert 16,777,216 bits to megabytes. What you just have to do is to divide this number here with 8,388,608, which will give us 2 megabytes. So it's also still the same thing with the previous set, but this one is a little bit short. You just have to remember this particular number and you divide it with whatever number they said you should convert to megabytes. Okay, before we start the megabyte conversion to bit, please, if you have not subscribed to this video or this channel, please try and subscribe, and don't forget to share and drop your comment on the comment section. Now, converting from megabyte to bit, like we said earlier, when you're converting from the big unit, you multiply. So we already know our conversion unit. 8 bits is equal to 1 byte, 1024 bytes is equal to 1 kilobyte, and 1024 kilobytes is equal to 1 megabyte. So now I have two methods. This is method 1. Method 1 is our normal long process. Megabytes multiply. You have to multiply whatever megabyte you want to convert to bits. You have to multiply it by 1024 kilobytes, multiply by 1024 bytes, multiplied again by 8 bits. That will give you the number of bits you are converting, since you are converting from megabytes to bits. Now they gave us an example here. They say convert 2 megabytes to bits. What we just have to do is 2 megabytes multiplied by 1024 kilobytes, multiply by 1024 bytes, multiply it again by 8 bits, which will give us 16,777,216. So 2 megabytes is equal to 16,777,216 bits. That is for method 1. Then method 2, like I said earlier, 1 megabyte is equal to 8,388,608 bits. What you just need to know is to remember this number. Just remember it. Now, in order for us to convert from megabyte to bit, you just have to multiply whatever number that you have been asked to convert to bit. You multiply it with 8,388,608 bits. So our example here, they say convert 2 megabytes to bits. Convert 2 megabytes to bits. So what you are doing is 2 megabytes multiplied by 8,388,608 bits, which is equal to 16,777,216. So 2 megabytes is equal to 16,777,216 bits. That is to show how simple our conversion method is. So in essence, when you are converting from the smaller unit to the bigger unit, you divide. If you are converting from the bigger unit to the smaller unit, you multiply. So you can apply this same principle for that of the terabyte, the petabyte, and the exabyte. It's still the same process. But if you are still finding it difficult, you can drop your question on the comment section. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share with your friends.